kind of happy that you selected me as one of the people that gets to help tell the story. Because I was born way back there on February 21st, 1945, at King County Hospital. Today, everybody calls it Harborview. And when I was born, my mother and dad had just 4 months before I was born gotten up here from Texas. Matter of fact, I learned later that about 40% of all the black people in Seattle, families originated in Texas. My mother came from a little town called Nickton, Texas, all black township, just about 50 miles from where her grandmother and father and my great-grandmother and father were slaves. My daddy was born down the road in Jacksonville, Texas, and they both were fortunate enough to come up and have the opportunity to go to college. And they met at Texas College in Tyler, Texas, when they were 18 and 19 years old, respectively. But before both of them were 20, Daddy had some conflicts with some white people over how much he was supposed to get paid for picking cotton. And he was going to either try to hurt one of them or he had to get out of Dodge. So my mother had a sister that lived in Seattle, so they got on the migratory trail and came on up to Seattle. When they landed in Seattle, we lived in the Warmish Bend. That's over there in Georgetown. It was a housing project then. Most of the blacks that came up here either lived in the Warmish Bend and a little later in High Point, Holly Park, Rainier Vista, or High Point out in West Seattle. And that's the way it goes. When they accumulated a little money, they moved to the central area. Well, my family road occurred in the same manner. We lived in High Point until I was 10 years old, 1955. But by that time, my mom and pops had 6 kids, so I'm the oldest of 6 children. In '55, Daddy was so happy he got a job as a blue-collar job as a mailman in West Seattle. So logic told him, I want to buy a house because I make enough money now in West Seattle. But when he went to the realtor, brother man, he was told that showing you houses in West Seattle, Mr. Gossett, would not be wise because they do not sell to Negroes out here. Daddy was disappointed because he thought when he had come up from the South that kind of overt prejudice was gone, but he was mistaken, as you and I well know. And then he went to another realtor, and instead of saying where he wanted to live, he just let the realtor take him to where he could show him houses. And yes, that realtor too didn't say anything to him, but he only showed him 3 houses in what then was called the central area. So in 1955, we moved to 1803 East Alder Street, and I became a student. I was enrolled at Horace Mann Elementary School. My sister Brenda, my brother Ricky, all 3 of us were in school, elementary school then, and we were enrolled at Horace Mann. That was the first school we had ever attended that was overwhelmingly black. Matter of fact, I found out later in '55, Horace Mann was already 98% black student body, and we were 3 of the kids that went there. But I kind of loved the CD because we lived right around the corner from the Rotary Boys Club. So at 10 years old, I joined the Rotary Boys Club, and that's where I met some of the most fantastic friends and young athletes that I'd ever met in my life.